Now onto the story. I am Abigail Foster, 35 years old. My entire life has been spent in the shadow of my own family. At my father's 60th birthday in Raleigh, I sat at a corner table. No wine, no, just a single piece of dry bread. Across the room, my stepmother's lips curled into a smirk. "That's all you deserve," she whispered. My sister Shannon laughed. Always invisible, always pathetic. The room glittered with chandeliers and laughter, but their words cut deeper than glass. They thought I was there to beg. They were wrong. I had come with a plan. In my pocket was a USB drive. Inside, the truth that would rip their world apart. My story didn't begin that night. It began decades earlier. My mother died when I was 5. By 7, my father had remarried. Karen arrived with her daughter, Shannon, and a cold smile that told me exactly where I stood. Unwanted. Karen dressed Shannon in designer clothes, piano recitals, endless praise. Me, silence, hand-me-downs, invisible. At 10, I asked to join a family dinner. Karen cut me down with a glance. "You're not part of this." And Shannon chimed in, delighted. "Stay out of it, Abby." My father never looked up from his business deals. So I learned to disappear. Until the day I picked up a cheap camcorder at 16. I started filming other kids like me, the unseen ones. That camera became my escape, my voice. Karen called it a waste. Shannon laughed. "Your films won't change anything." At 18, I left home, built a life through scholarships, night shifts, and my films. Meanwhile, Shannon floated on my father's money, internships, parties, a lavish graduation I wasn't even invited to. Dad sent me a check with 2 words scrawled on it: "Congrats." That was our relationship in a single envelope. So when the email for his birthday gala arrived, signed by Karen, it felt like an insult. Formal, cold, like I was a distant cousin, not his daughter. I nearly deleted it. But my best friend Ellen said, "You're going, not to please them, to prove you're not invisible anymore." She was right. A week later, Ellen overheard Shannon at a cafe, her voice low but smug. "The shares will be mine soon." My heart froze. She was talking about Dad's company, the empire he had built from nothing. With Ellen's help, we dug deeper. A forgotten password. A cloud account. Messages between Shannon and her slick friend Kyle. "Make sure the papers are ready. Dad won't suspect a thing." Karen's got the lawyer lined up. And then the attachment, a draft agreement transferring Dad's majority shares to Shannon. Karen's signature already on it. My chest burned with fury. This wasn't just cruelty anymore. This was betrayal. Ellen trailed Shannon to a bar and recorded her bragging. "Once Dad signs, it's ours. He trusts Karen too much." Kyle laughed. "He's got no idea. I saved everything to a USB. My weapon, my proof. The gala would be the battlefield." That night, Raleigh Hall glowed with wealth. Champagne glasses, polished suits, chandeliers, dripping light. I wore a simple black dress, nothing fancy. I didn't need glitter to be seen. They tried anyway to bury me. The waiter led me to the corner. A wobbly chair, a stained cloth, a plate with a single piece of bread. Karen glided over, satin dress shimmering. She leaned close, her whisper like venom. "That's all you deserve." Shannon followed in sequence, smirking. "Don't embarrass us tonight," she hissed. I gripped the USB in my pocket, my pulse thundered. But I smiled back, steady, because tonight I wasn't the forgotten girl. Tonight I was the storm they never saw coming. The speeches began. Karen's voice filled the room, all false sweetness about family and loyalty. I could barely breathe. Then the MC asked for more remarks. I rose, my voice cut through the chatter. "I have something to share," gasps, whispers. Karen froze mid-smile. I walked to the stage, handed the USB to the AV tech, and whispered, "Play it." The screen behind me flickered. First, a blown-up message. "Make sure the papers are ready. Dad won't suspect a thing." The room went silent. Then another Karen's name, the lawyer's set, and then the audio. Shannon's voice, sharp and smug. "Once Dad signs, it's ours. He trusts Karen too much." Kyle's laugh followed. "He's got no idea." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Karen bolted to her feet. "Turn it off," she shrieked, but it was too late. The draft contract filled the screen. Her signature glared under the transfer of shares. The hall erupted, guests whispering, eyes wide. And then Kyle stumbled in from the back, drunk and panicked. "It's true," he blurted. "Karen and Shannon planned it all. I just followed orders." Chaos. Shouts. Faces turned on Karen and Shannon, judgment sharp. My father stood slowly, confusion curdling into betrayal. "Explain this," he demanded, his voice like thunder. Karen reached for his arm, trembling. "Gregory, it's not what it looks like." He pulled away, silent, broken. For the first time in my life, his eyes found mine. "You did this?" he asked softly. My throat tightened. I had to. His gaze held regret, or maybe respect. I couldn't tell. The fallout was instant. Matthew Stone, Dad's senior partner, rose to his feet. "We trusted your family for years, but this," he gestured to the screen. "We're done. The merger is off." Gasps. Karen pleaded. Shannon stammered. Guests turned away. The party was over. My father left without a word, shoulders slumped, a man undone by the people he trusted most. Shannon spun toward me, eyes blazing. "You ruined everything." I met her glare, calm. "No, Shannon, you did." Her mouth opened, but no sound came. For once, she had nothing left to say. The weeks after were a storm. Dad's empire collapsed. The merger gone, partners pulled out, and within months his company crumbled into bankruptcy. Karen's world vanished too. High society turned its back. Her name disappeared from the social pages. I once passed her on Hillsborough Street. Hair unkempt, clutching coffee like a lifeline. She didn't see me. Shannon fell even harder. Her polished image shattered. Clients dropped her. Campaigns cancelled. Online, people mocked. Silence replaced the spotlight she craved. Dad retreated to a quiet condo, fishing alone. He never returned my call. Betrayal had broken him more than it ever broke me. But for me, it was the beginning. Susan Clark, a producer who'd seen the Gala chaos, called me. "Your courage stuck with me. I want you on a documentary project." I said yes. And for the first time, my work had real weight. I poured myself into it. Early mornings editing, late nights filming. My small apartment filled with reels and scripts. And when the premiere came, the theatre buzzed with anticipation. My documentary, a tapestry of family legacies, the lights dimmed, the screen lit up. The audience leaned forward, and when the credits rolled, they applauded for me, for my story. I wasn't invisible anymore. Weeks later, Karen left a voicemail. Her voice stripped of power. "We need to talk." For old time's sake, I deleted it without hesitation. I wasn't hers to wound anymore. One crisp morning, I drove to Rawley Hall, empty now, columns weathered. Chandeliers, dark. I stood with my camera, took one shot of myself reflected in the glass doors. Click, a full stop. That hall wasn't a place of pain anymore. It was just a backdrop. Because I wasn't the forgotten daughter at the corner table anymore. I was the woman who exposed the truth, who built her own legacy. Silence had been my prison. But speaking out, even when my voice shook, had set me free.